My name is Bob Volante. I'm 80 years old. I was born in 1935 in Boston. Actually, it was in Allston. I was born at the Boston Lying-in Hospital, which no longer exists, but at the time was the place to be born, apparently. I was the second of three children. I have an older sister, 2 years older, a younger sister, 9 years younger. Obviously, I'm the middle. My parents were of Italian heritage. They were both born here, as was my maternal grandmother. All other grandparents were born in Italy, southern Italy. So that makes me a third generation Italian American, something I'm very proud of. We grew up in Allston, as I said. We had a home, we had a house. It was a 5-family house, and it had a store. It was a very poor neighborhood. We didn't have a lot of money, but we had a nice family, and my father worked in for a supermarket, so we always had good food. And being Italian, we always had good food, and we enjoyed good food and good wine, and we made wine. Let's fast forward a few years. At age 40, I'm living here in this apartment. My two sisters are here having dinner with me, and I'd never come out to them until I was quite old. I was 40 years old, something we started to talk about it. And my kid sister knew, because she was more sophisticated, and she had a lot of gay friends, and she just assumed that I was gay because I wasn't dating anyone. I had no woman in my life. My older sister was a little bit less understanding, but she came around. But anyway, we were having dinner at the table, and I said, well, when I told Mom and Dad I was gay, and they dropped their fork into the plate because they said, you what? You told Mom and Dad you were gay when you were 18 years old? And they said, why did you tell us? And I said, because I trusted them and I didn't trust you. It was really kind of interesting. It was a very interesting conversation. Anyway, but let me backtrack a little bit, because I told you what a wonderful family I had. When I was 18, I guess 18 or 19, that doesn't matter, it's sometime around that time, my sister had a boyfriend, and I absolutely fell in love with this guy. I mean, I couldn't take my eyes off him. He lived in Worcester, and I would drive him back and forth because he didn't have a car, and we had a car. And it was really eating at me, and I was beginning to get physically sick over it. And so I said, I gotta discuss this with someone, because I'm gonna go crazy if I don't. And my mother and I were sitting in the kitchen. It's so clear. And I said to myself, you gotta tell her that you like men, boys. So I said, Mom, I gotta tell you something. And I told her. And she wasn't stunned. She just came over, put her hand on my shoulder, and she said, we love you. Now, I don't know if she suspected that I was gay or not. I don't think I was effeminate, but I wasn't showing any interest in girls as a high school person. I mean, I dated a couple of them, and we went. I can remember taking a girl on her to her prom, and at the end of the night, I went to just give her a peck, and she French kissed me, and I was appalled. I didn't want any part of it. Anyway. So we discussed it a little bit, and that night I was downstairs. The apartment below us was occupied by my aunt, and I was babysitting her child. And my father came down, and we had a chat. And what he said to me, and the words were so clear to me, and I remember them so well. And this is many years ago now. I'm 80, 20, 18, 62 years ago. We love you, Bob. A lot of people won't. My only request to you is to be a gentleman, and you'll be just fine. So I'm a very fortunate guy in that regard, because that was 1953, 54, when you didn't do this stuff, and kids, if they did come out like that, they would be thrown out of the house. I was not only not thrown out of the house, I was reassured that I had them at my back, you know?